Hello. Oh my goodness, I am right here again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything to you. It's a beautiful weekend here, beautiful Sunday, and welcome to another beautiful episode of my Life, My Identity podcast. It's a girl, Nancy Chamaka, aka Dr. Strange, aka Strange, aka Goddess of Photography. Yeah, your number one storyteller in the Southeast and beyond. Oh my God, I am so happy to be here. As always, I am, obviously. Can't you see that? Can you feel it in your bones and in your heart? Yes, so I'm so excited to be here. I'm happy for me. I am happy for you. How have you been? What have you been up to? How is your day going? I've been through a lot. A lot has happened. Not so a lot, anyways. But just few things that I have to bring to your notice that have taken place. This is. I always say that this is a safe space for me to come vent about certain things, talk about certain things, and share my thoughts and my opinion about them, about my life. It's about my life and about the life of those around me too, because my life is not just for me. My life involves others, so many others. So I'm not such a selfish person when I say this podcast is a documentary about my life and everything that I think and then my experiences, because each story I share here, each vent I bring to you, and each time I talk to myself here, it reminds me that my life is full of people of unlikely friendship. People who I don't know from Adam, but when they come to know me or when I get to know them, beautiful things happen. You learn from them, they learn from you. It just makes me realize that we all need each other. I've always said it in my podcast and I'll keep saying it just to remind you that no one is an island indeed. So even if you're going to tell stories about your life involves others, so many others. And you should always keep that in mind. Or let me actually remind you as well, remind myself that your life now, you having so many people in your life now should make you understand that there are many more that will come into your life. So the better you start working on yourself, start being optimistic, start having to lead yourself well, the better for those who are coming into your life or you going into people's lives, so that you will be a better person. You will not be a parasite to anyone. You will be a source of energy, a source of motivation, a source of inspiration, a source of help, a source of kindness, a source of happiness to those that are gonna meet you and those who you're gonna meet. So I think we should just keep at that. Just like I said, I want to remind you and as well remind myself, because sometimes we can actually forget the fact that we live our life not just for ourselves but for others as well. I have few things to talk about. This is part of the event, but then it's more like it was a great honor. Let me just start from yesterday's event before I'll now transfer into the past event that have happened in the past few weeks. Yesterday, a few weeks ago, I think it was last month, I have Solomon Okeke, one of the twins who are the founders of what's the name of the organization again? Leadership Rebirth. impact field initiative. Him and his brother, they are doing amazing things. They are setting the pace for others to follow. I love the energy they carry. Solomon Okeke and Gideon Okeke, I love you guys for all that you do, and finding me worthy enough to ask, worthy enough severally. In short, I could remember the very first time I got to meet you guys. We've known each other on Facebook for a while, just like, Solomon had a topic yesterday, social media, how it's, affects your excellence in leadership, as a young person, how you use social media determines your next future, because our future is virtually going online day by day, like day by day. If you're still those people who believe that nothing good can come out of social media, my dear, you're still dreaming. You're still dreaming. You're still in the olden days. Even in the olden days, the olden days we are smart enough to have predicted the future to be this way. But come on, are you actually on Earth? Maybe you're in another planet, I would say. But if you're on this planet and you understand the power of social media, your online presence, you should maximize and be careful of the impression you give yourself out there on social media, no matter what social media platform you're using. So I and Gideon Okeke and Solomon Okeke, the twin, we've known each other for a long time. So the very first time they hosted their Enugu Readers Summit, I think somewhere in 2018, if I'm correct, somewhere in 2018. I was just a young girl. I got admission 2016, so imagine 2016, 2017, 2018. I think I was in my IT, if I can remember clearly. Yes, it was during my 1 year IT that they did that Enugu the first ever Enugu Readers Summit, where I was on Facebook and I heard I saw a post of, we need a volunteer, whatever you can do to contribute to the cause the project we are on, it will be really, really be helpful. So I found that, whatever project they were on, like helping students go back to school, and encouraging students to read and understand the value of education, and encouraging them to, be leaders. Even though you're in school, you can be a leader. Even though you're in primary school, secondary school, wherever you are, you're a leader. So just that project really resonates with me a lot. Like, it really resonates with me. So when they were asking for volunteers, I offered to volunteer. I was just a newbie. I was just a newbie in photography, like very new. I loved storytelling. I love photography, and I love telling stories with my photographs. So with the love of photography and how much I want to take up that course, I felt like, it's a skill that even though I'm just getting to know my camera and getting to understand the use of camera and how best I can tell my story, I didn't allow that limits me. I offered to volunteer, and then my mentor that I was staying with then, there was this camera they had that I used to, because I am part of YLC. Then I was the person in YLC who always document the meetings every day. So whereby the camera was in my custody, so I felt like, come on. If I can access a camera, let me volunteer and be part of this great, cause of helping students understand their worth, making them understand that they can go back to school, that education is everything. I am number one person who believes that education is virtually everything. Like, if you don't get the right education, I don't think you'll be able to navigate through what your purpose in life is. I don't know what for it. It must not be academical education, because education starts from just when you're small. Anything can educate you. It's not a must you're going to sit in class before you get education. Your phone can teach you anything. Human being can help. Just watching other people's life can be an education to you. You could learn from anybody. Experiences are ways of, has a way of educating you and making you, fall in line with the purpose of why you're here on earth, So education is not just, the limit of education is not just in class. You shouldn't limit education to just sitting in class and having a lecturer teach you, or having a teacher teach you, or just from your home, your parents, the way they live, what the instructions they give you, you're learning. I mean, come on. Even though a lot of us have this narrow mindset about education, but for me, having all the experiences that I've had right now and knowing what I know now, education is not just limited in class or having to stay in the four walls of your classroom. Anything can get you educated. Anyone can get you educated. Life itself, your surrounding, in short, a cockroach, an insect, anything, virtually anything you see around you, it has a way of sending a message to you, and that is education. That is education. It makes you, without you knowing, subconsciously, you realize you're better at making decisions. You realize you're better when you're faced with tragedy, when you're faced with struggles, you have a way of navigating through, and some of those things. So instincts, your mind telling you, they are all forms of education, Even the Holy Spirit has a way of perfectly educating you more, and you knowing what exactly sense you measure, what exactly you have to do every point in time. So when I met these young men, they are now men, then they were boys. Well, if they're listening to me, hey, don't laugh. Of course, I know this story anyways. I know when you guys were younger, and it's not like it's been too long, but you know how time flies, So I volunteered, and the very first debate, I think he was writing, I don't know if he's writing debate or whatever that they did. I covered it, I took pictures, and then the day of the Reader Summit, I was there live. That day, I think the thing happened at the Center for Memory, Enugu here. That's the very first place Enugu Reader Summit was held, and it was an honor to be there. It was a great honor, if I can remember. Yes, of course, it's not. I have an intensive memory. I should not believe that I can forget easily. Of course, I can't forget easily. So if it hurts me, just know that I will remember. Well, I might not be specific with dates and time, but whatever that happened that day, I will remember vividly. So it was there that I became part of Impact Field for the first time, and it was amazing. It was really amazing to work with them, having to experience student come, and the speakers were amazing, teaching students, teaching different aspects of education, and so many other things that happened that day. So basically, fast forward to yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday. Yes, 23rd. They held what's the name? The Leadership Rebirth Conference 6.0. The sixth time that they're holding that conference. It was an honor when I don't know if it was an honor or whatever it is. However, it feels right. Anyways, Solomon reached out to me and said that Nancy, that they would want me to partner with them, to help cover the events. To be a great honor to have me do that. And without any hesitation, I've been part of them, and they've been part of me, and it felt right to do it. Not just because of anything, but because of the cause they are working on, the project of leadership, and having to structure the mindset of excellence, to strike the mindset of excellence in every young person, making them understand that leadership starts with you. You don't have to wait till you get into any political position. You don't have to wait till you're held up in a very prominent position where everybody knows, oh, you're the boss, or you're the leader, oh, you're this director general, CEO, all those names that will make you have a big head. But at the end of the day, are you worth those names? Do your sense of worth align with those names? I mean, come on. It's not just you having to answer boss, having to answer CEO, having to answer president, governor, minister, honorable, barrister, whatever it is, doctor, whatever it is, whatever title you possibly could attach yourself to. Are you a leader? Are you serving? Leadership is all about service. Leadership is all about giving. Leadership is all about taking responsibility. That is what I know. So this is going to be an event, and as well as sharing my experience from yesterday's Enugu Leadership Rebirth conference. So I was there. It was really amazing. The speakers nailed it. One of my favorite speaker is Barrister Gozie Udemezue. If you've heard this, you should know. By now you should be acquainted to that name. I mean, you should have been acquainted with that name, because it's a household name. I don't want to just remind you of that. Barrister Gozie Udemezue is a household name in Enugu State and beyond. You need to get acquainted with that name, because it's a name that, God, that woman, hey, I don't know what to say to her right now. I don't even know what to say, but God, is always amazing to hear her speak. Like, she's sweet, like when they say love swept you off your feet, that's how her words is, That's the feeling I get whenever I hear her talk about leadership, talk about character, talk about sense of worth, talk about taking responsibility, talk about you. You don't just say, you want to take me as I am. I am who I am, please. You can't change it. Come on, now you're arrogant and you're dirty. No. In her words, we can't take you as you are if you're arrogant and dirty. So as you are, what about what you're supposed to be? What about what you're meant to be as you are? Excuse me. Yeah, she was one of the speakers yesterday and she nailed it as usual. She's an inspirational speaker. That's how I see it. She's very critical. She's a storyteller. I mean, she brings it down to your level that you have to understand. And above all, she's so she's a drama queen indeed. You just have nothing else to do than to just have your eye glued to her as she speaks, as she acts, and as she expresses herself to you. She's an amazing barrister, a mother, and a mentor to so many people, and she is one person I respect so much. Love you, ma. Keep doing what you do to inspire young people like us. We want to be like you, have integrity like you, and I believe it is possible for people like you to still be. That means we have hope to be better, definitely. So she was one of the speakers, plus some other amazing speakers who spoke about leadership, excellence in leadership. It's all about excellence in leadership. So as an entrepreneur, as a doctor, as whatever it is, whatever position, you need to have excellence in whatever position you are in. So the better we get it now, the better for the hope we have for Nigeria at large. So during the little short breakout section yesterday, in my own table, even though I was a photographer, of course I participated in the whole event of Command. I love I don't know if I'm a leader. Of course, I believe I'm a leader, and the leadership started with me. So, I believe that leadership starts with me. The change I want to see starts with me. So, if I don't live it, I should not expect it. I think we should start. In short, I mean, I'm going to use that. If we don't live it, don't expect it. I mean, let's live out what we expect from others. Not when you expect, you're not even living it out. Is it not too much to ask? So why are you expecting when you're not even living it by example? Like not even showing an example. It pisses me off. God. So, it was really amazing to see all the beautiful faces. In short, as I'm talking to you now, I'm still working on the pictures and I should have them delivered today as promised. So, having to, just scan through the pictures is really amazing. I was happy being part of this event yesterday, having to volunteer as photographer. The Strange Images volunteered, and I am proud of you, the Strange Images. You're doing great. Thank you. May God bless the works of your hands. May God bless your lenses and your camera or your equipment, whatever you're asking God for. May God bring them to pass. I mean, may God grant you all those desires. The Strange Images, you shall grow beyond your expectation. You shall excel. I mean, the world needs you, so you should know that. And I am proud of you. Personally, Nancy Chamaka is proud of the Strange Images, and we are synergizing together to make things happen. Being the number one storyteller in the Southeast and beyond. Yes, we are. You get it right? If you don't get it, forget it. But this is beautiful. So back to, my yesterday, when we had a short breakout section in the, we were asked to discover a problem, any leadership problem you have, you could possibly think of, and then provide solutions. So in my table, we're talking about the way federal and all these public servants offices are not functioning. That's the worst place you could possibly work. That you're a public servant means you're a nuisance. You don't even have any self-worth. And true, of course, that is the reality in Nigeria right now. Because starting from, let me just state an example. In short, this is an opportunity for me to vent about my school. My school, IMT, Institute of Management and Technology, Enugu, the non-academic staffs are, I don't know, I know a few of them are nice people, but the bad eggs are trying to spoil the good ones, or they have spoiled the good ones, because trust me, students have resentment, bitterness for those non-academic staffs. When you come to their office, they just frustrate you. They don't take their work serious. You come to change your school fees receipt, you're standing under the sun. All these women, and these are funny enough, these are not young people. These are older people, mothers, fathers. They have children, so they understand the need to nurture children, to take care of them. Why? Right? Yes, of course. But rather, these women will choose to have us stay under the sun and keep waiting for them to do whatever they are doing. When they are done, and they will now want to attend to you. Or the next thing they will tell you, what the Kwego granite. If you're not able, what do I mean by that? What the Kwego granite is bring money for granites. Is that not the bribe? Is that not the bribe we are fighting for? Like, imagine for you to do your job, you're tasking a student to give you money first. Why? Month end, you will receive salary. Sure? So now, who is the problem? We are our problem. It's not Buhari. I need us to have, in short, we'll keep saying it. It's not Buhari. It's not even Ugwuanyi, in quotes. It is not any of those people. Yesterday, after the event, I had an opportunity to go hear out Nosu Namani, because he's contesting for Enugu South and Enugu North Federal Constituency, House of Assembly. So he was telling us why a lot of things didn't work out. I mean, you will have a good governor, but then he cannot do anything much. He cannot do so much if the legislatives are not working, or are not implementing, or are not helping out to check out these things. So it's not just about it's about the people. It's not just about the leadership positions. It's about the people, the incredibility of the people occupying these spaces, these positions. And during that breakout session, when I was able to, bring up my opinion to the table, I started by saying something about, I don't know if it has to be, there are names, there's certain names that could possibly, so if you have a better name to tell me, no, it's okay to just, send me a voice note and tell me the perfect title for this kind of thing. One, I don't know if we need mindset restructuring. Mindsets Nigeria cannot work if we don't start to take responsibility by ourselves than having to point fingers to leadership positions, those occupying leadership positions. It's not true. That leadership person starts with you, because trust me, if you're in a yard where there are different families, you're about four tenants in the building, and something goes wrong, and EDC brings bill, or something went wrong, and you cannot want to work hand in hand with people to bring back peace, to bring back that life, comfortable life for them. Trust me, when you become governor, when you become when you enter House of Assembly, when you become a speaker, when you become a senate, when you become local government chairman, when you become chairman of your union, trust me, you won't do it, because it's not in you. You cannot give what you don't have. We need to just remember that. You cannot always want to take things for yourself and expect when you enter leadership position that you'll be willing to give. It's a lie. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If you're not a selfless servant, you can never be a selfless leader. If you're not a servant, you can never become a leader, because you will do nonsense. You will never lead. You won't. You become a tyrant. You become that person that is selfish, that person that goes for public fund, that person that seeks for his own benefit first. So I don't know why it's hard. I know Nigeria is hard already on every one of us, including myself. But would that make me want to punish another person? No. So trust me, we can only be who we are at every given time. And if you do not build yourself enough to be that servant leader, you can never be a good leader. You can never be. You can't. We need to understand that. We need to make Nigeria work. I believe so. I believe strongly if we can start within ourselves to restructure our mindset to believe that people's life are more important. The life of those around you are more important than yours. Then, if somebody else can be selfless enough to think about somebody else, that means that person can possibly be selfless enough to think about you. It goes either way. If you're selfless enough, if everyone can just be selfless for a second, imagine a world where, imagine a Nigeria where maybe for 10 minutes, you're selfless. Just help somebody. Forget about what you're going to gain. Forget about the benefit. Forget about, what's in for me first. Can you, just for that 10 minutes, can you possibly think of how this country will turn around in just that 10 seconds or that 10 seconds. I mean, just imagine, just I don't know, maybe it's in my head or I'm imagining too much, but I know it's not too much to ask. Imagine for 10 seconds, you just think about somebody else. You just think about their discomfort, feel their pain. What can you do to solve their problem? The way another person is, you're thinking for another person, so is another person thinking for you. So you're not left alone. Can we just get how God really wants us to live? If you can be selfless, thinking about the need of others, that is how another person is thinking about your need. So let's just let go of our pride. Let's go of what's in for me first. Let's go of, hey, what's the benefit? Am I getting money? Or let's go of the hungry and selfish attitude. This is where we can have the Nigeria of our dream. If we cannot get to this point, at least, you see, everybody is hyping P2B, everybody on social media, P2B. P2B did not come from the sky. He said he's a Nigerian. He's a Nigerian, but he worked on himself. Discipline. That is discipline. He's contented. That contentment is something. In short, I know a friend of mine, I was just scrolling this morning before I started recording this podcast. This morning, I was scrolling through my WhatsApp status, and I came across a friend who posted that contentment is everything. That contentment, anybody that has contentment, that there is nothing more precious than that. And I totally agree with him, because in the leadership in short, in Nigeria, let me just forget about governorship, all these political positions, or all these things we think they are leadership positions. They're actually not leadership positions, they are political positions, because you can have a politician who is not a leader. Now, imagine when you have a leader get into political position, you see what they can do. They will do different. So if you're not a leader, you get into power, sorry, you can never be it. You can never be it. You'll be selfish. You will always be a politician if you're not a leader. So a lot of us are not contented. We are too greedy. We are too selfish. We are not contented. Many times in my life I've been asked, Nancy, you're doing every time you're doing volunteer job, they're not paying you, and you're delivering quality, you're doing your best, you're working your ass out, you're even sometimes you go to the work without eating, and you deserve to be paid. You had all the opportunity to be paid. I'm not. Yeah, truly, of course I need money. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs to pay bill. Everybody needs a better life. Of course, I want the life I'm living now is not even what I want. I mean, I desire for a better life. I desire to be driving. I desire to own my own car. I desire to have all the equipment that I need as a photographer. I desire to grow every day, and without money, I don't think much thing can happen. You need money to grow better. You need money to do a lot of things in this world, but let's not forget that there are things money cannot buy. There are virtues money can never buy, like contentment. Money cannot buy contentment. Money cannot buy you having to understand that you have to help people. Money cannot buy happiness that much. Money cannot buy kindness. Money cannot buy selflessness. There are things money cannot buy. So I don't volunteer for certain organizations or for certain firms or go out of my way to do certain things because of the money. No, I'm not expecting money in return. All I think about is that I'm delivering value. I am contributing to a cause that will help a lot of people. That I am participating. I am those people who participate to make Nigeria a better place, to restructure the mindset of a lot of young people that are about to give up in Nigeria. Trust me, I was there. I somehow I get my hands on certain clips or certain people who still believe in Nigeria. That's why I think I still believe in Nigeria. I believe that Nigeria can still possibly work. We have everything we need. But before we can have everything we need to work on ourselves. I can never stop emphasizing on self-discipline, self-development, self-leadership, because if you cannot do it for yourself, you cannot do it for another person. If you're toxic to yourself, you will be toxic to any other person. If you're selfish to yourself, you'll be selfish to another person. You cannot give what you don't have. Trust me, if you don't love yourself, you will never love anybody. Even when you get into presidents, you can never. If you're not selfless, if you don't steal things from your neighbors, you will never steal when you get into power. But if you do steal things from your neighbors, definitely when you get into power, you will steal more than. Because then your conscience is killed. Your conscience is killed. Your ability to think for others is dead. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that I don't know why I feel so passionate saying this, that I believe Nigeria can still work, but it depends on me and you. It depends on you and I to make it work. If you're listening to me, no matter your age bracket right now, I'm a young girl like you, young woman like you. So if you're a young woman out there, a young teen, a child, that you've gotten to understand that things are not working, why don't you start making things work by being responsible? Don't wait for people to tell you what to do. If you see need, fill in. Do the little you can, no matter what. Little. We're not asking you. I'm not asking for too much. I know I have limitations. I know personally there are things I would want to change, but I can't do it. I will need help. So, and if I go for help and I cannot get that adequate help that I need, and if I know that if I continue to try to give in my effort, that I might get drowned along the way, I will stay back and pray that God can bring in more stronger helpers to help solve this problem. And trust me, God answers those kind of prayer because of your prayer, because you truly care, He will send somebody to solve those problems. Or He will find a way to bring the possibility, to bring the right person to come and help you solve that problem. That's how it works for me. I don't know how it works for you. So, but all the same, this is my experience for Leadership Rebirth yesterday, and it was really amazing. So definitely wait for the pictures. I'll possibly, maybe between this evening and tomorrow morning, I'm going to upload some of the pictures, and you're going to take a look at the amazing speakers and how they are. I'm going to write certain things that I took home, I would say, that really, really resonated with me. So I'm happy to share them with you. And look out for the Strange Images page on Facebook and Twitter and then Instagram. Same as LinkedIn, the Strange Images is always there. We see beyond the lenses. Trust me when I say that. So yeah, that's part of the conference, and that's part of the things that happen. But before then, yes, I have some good news, and one of them is that, guess what? I'm wearing my photochromic bluecoat lenses right now. And if you know what photochromic bluecoat lens means, is that it's a lens that prevents you from blue rays from your system, from your laptop, your desktop, your phone, and some other rays blue rays sources around us. And again, it's anti-glare, and as well, it is the power of my eye. And if you're an eye specialist, or you know things about the eye, you should know that what I'm wearing is really, really powerful and expensive at the same time. But can you imagine how long I have wanted to own these glasses? First of all, I don't have eye problem, but by accident I do have one. I mean, one of my eyes is not so amazing because of an accident that happened when I was a kid. But then outside that, I am totally fine. I'm not short-sighted. I'm not long-sighted. I have good vision for both long and sight. Like, I don't have any deficiency with my eyes outside the accident that happened. So, and there was trauma, but then my eyes is fine. So, being that I'm a photographer and I have to look at the screen 24/7 when I'm editing, they prescribed that the last time I had my eye checked, the doctor prescribed a photochromic lens for me. And when I checked how much to get that kind of lens, they told me it's 50,000. That was late last year. Then I went again a few days ago. I mean, I've been saving. So because I really, 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 really needed these glasses to protect my eyes, most importantly from blue rays, especially from this system, because if you do the kind of job, or the majority of us who are ICT guys, tech guys, who have to work with the system, even on offices, if you have to do anything with your system, God, if they tell you the amount of blue rays that your system generates that could possibly damage your eye, by the time you're hitting 50, 60, 70 or more, you will just go get this lens for yourself. But if you don't value your eyes, I don't think you see the need to do so. And here in Africa, of course, I worked with the eye hospital for a year plus, so I understand the importance of the eye and some certain eye diseases that we don't even know exist, or certain things that we do that damages our eyes and expose us to further eye diseases for us to easily get them before we get old. And an African man doesn't believe prevention is better than cure. They believe until malaria or whatever hits them, or they believe that all of a sudden they cannot see again. They will now tell you that it's their village people that remembered them, that they knew there was this woman in my village that never wanted me to see, that they've sent medicine for me to get blind. No, it doesn't work that way. There are eye diseases that we don't know that will stay years in our eyes before we'll finally get blind. But because an African man feels like, if there's nothing wrong with me, that means there's no need to go have my eye checked. There's no need to go to the hospital. There's no need to do this. There's no need to do that. But come on. Yes, we need to understand that the body is like a machine. And what do you do to a machine every once in a while is to go make sure that everything is in order. You cannot be driving a car and you want to drive a car for a whole year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years without having to check fuel, without having to check oil, without having to check water, without having to check certain things that will prevent the car from breaking down. That is just the way our system is. I'm a medical student, not medical. Of course, I'm a science student. Actually wanted to do a medical rehabilitation before I got admission, but unfortunately IMT gave me SLT to do science laboratory technology, which I further advanced into environmental biology. But still, of course, I still want to function in the healthcare environment and so many other things. But I've been opportune to work in hospitals before I even got admission, and I've been opportune as well to work with an eye hospital before. During my 1 year IT, it was a double exposure. And just like I know a lot of us don't have the opportunity that I have, but if you do not expose yourself to want to have opportunities will not come. And if you do not identify with opportunity. Don't limit yourself to anything. Just have an open mind. Whatever that comes, no matter what maybe it's not exactly what you wanted to do. Because during my 1 year IT, my mentor asked me, Nancy, it's a 1 year IT, what do you want to do with it? I wanted to do photography for the 1 year I wanted to stay. But she said, no. Yeah, I have a plan for you. You're going to work with the hospital. There's a project you have to help me coordinate in Obuete, and that is having to go to Obuete and check people's eyes in their shops. And that was a very tasking project for me. I'm not really good with crowd. I'm not really good with being in the spotlight. Having to approach strangers and tell them reasons why they have to have their eye checked. And being that, that was why those experiences taught me that Nigerians are too, Nigerians strong past me indeed. Because, for you to convince somebody to have their eye checked, the fear, the things that come with it, the unbelief that comes with it, that nothing is wrong with my eyes. I can see with my eyes. I can do this. I can do that. We don't have blindness in my family. If you're telling me you have blindness, Holy Ghost fire, they will start bringing spiritual problem to it. And man, working like that, working for a long time like that has helped me understand a lot of things about people. And it's not their fault. That's the honest truth. It's lack of knowledge. It's lack of understanding. It's lack of having to attach value to things. So, they need to be reminded every blessed day too. Oh, yes, I know. I believe you don't have eye problem. But can't you check? Just check. You never can tell. Just check. I know Nigerians are too optimistic. We are very optimistic with life. Of course, because of the problems we face, because of the bad governance, because of the poor use of public funds, corruptions everywhere. Yes, when it comes to faith, having faith, majority of us have it 100%. But man, faith without work is nothing. You can have faith that nothing is wrong with you, but can't you back it up by checking, be 100% sure? It's not too much to ask. It's not even too much to convince. At least when you're saying you don't have eye problem, or when you're saying you don't have any medical problem, prove with facts, not with just saying. I love facts a lot. I love evidence. That is why I don't believe in what people say. Okay, they said. Stop what they said. Give me facts. Give me evidence that you did a research for yourself. You cannot call me. For instance, for a lot of young people who are sexually active, you say, oh, don't worry, I don't have STD. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Well, have you gone for checkup? Have you done tests to be sure? There are diseases that will just stay there and keep building. You will never know. They don't have symptoms. Before symptoms comes, they've damaged all they wanted to damage. And that is why a lot of us fall kidney failure, cancer, because of our lifestyle. And our lifestyle, because we are too careless and still too careful at the same time, we don't even know when we misuse them. So I will encourage all of you. I finally was able to get my glasses, but like I said, they told me 50,000 last time, but this time around, waiting dollar day now. The price increased, but because I wanted to really get it, and I really, really, really wanted to get it. And with the help of somebody who saw the need for me to have these glasses, special thanks to that person. The person helped me to get the glasses, and I am happy. I wouldn't call the person's name because the person is so dear to me. But he knows himself if he ever gets to listen to this podcast. He knows himself, and that I'm grateful to have you help me get these glasses, because for someone to see the need to have your health, see the need to help you stay healthy, no matter what it costs, those people really love you. The person loves you indeed. So it's not just about when people tell you, I love you, I care about you, but when you're faced with certain problems, they can't even help solve it. But this case, this person didn't even hesitate when I asked for help. And he said, don't worry, just go and make inquiry, get the glasses, get your eye test done, and you're good, tell me. And when I told him, it helped. And right now I'm using my glasses, and if I'm editing, I don't have to worry about my laptop having to damage my eye and so many other things. I am so happy. God bless you. God bless you. May your heart desires be actualized. May God continue to protect you from me and for so many other people that you're going to do good to. I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you so much. So that's, by the way, that's part of the good news I want to share. And I am so grateful to God for the kind of people that I have in my life. I can never, ever exaggerate that, or I can't take that for granted. And my story of unlikely friendship is still part of it anyways. Me sharing this, even if I didn't mention it, it's still part of my story of unlikely friends, and which I will continue next week. I just want to come here and just let you guys know that, hey, a lot is coming up and a lot is happening, and I need you to pay attention, and I need you to be responsible. Take responsibility. Don't point fingers anymore. Do it. Go make inquiry. Make things happen for yourself. If things are not working, try and see reason why they're not working. Talk about them. Provide solution. Think about people, as in just do something for your community. Do something in your yard. Do something for your sibling. Do something that makes you stand out like a good leader, because a good leader is a servant leader. Trust me when I say so. I believe it. So I'm gonna have to cut it off here, and I've got to go. I have to go, and I'm gonna see you next Sunday. Have a beautiful week ahead. I'm gonna wish you success, but most importantly, I need you to do something for someone. Like I said, can we just practice to think for others for 10 seconds, and imagine what that would do if everyone in Nigeria have to pause their selfishness and be selfless for 10 seconds. What do you think it's gonna do? And besides, I think we need to. I'm gonna try it, and next Sunday I'm gonna tell you what it feels like. Because I love to live by example. I am one of those people that live by example. So whatever I tell you here, just know that I practice. I'm not 100% perfect, but I'm a work in progress by God's grace. Love you guys. Love you. Have a beautiful week ahead, and don't forget to share this podcast with someone who needs it, with your friends and family. Just put a smile on somebody's face today. Hug them, give them a heart hug, and tell them that you heard it from Nancy Chamaka, and that you listened to My Life, My Identity podcast with your girl, Nancy Chamaka, signing out. Love you. Bye.